Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
There you go! Hello, AfterBuzzers! You are watching AfterBuzz TV's after show for Finding Carter, Season 2, Episode 13, called Native Son. I'm your host, Kylie Hodges, and I am thrilled to be back here and with a facelift. No, not on my face, but we're in a new studio, and it's so beautiful. And here's my beautiful co-host.
What's up, guys? Hannah Prichard here. Y'all can follow me on Twitter at @TheHotShotDude if you'd like. I'm actually checking the Twitter right now, and Kylie, somebody asked, can I be kidnapped instead by Kylie Hodges?
Oh, wow.
Somebody wants you to take them.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at the Kylie Hodges, where I will respond, no, I don't feel like kidnapping anybody. What I tweeted was, tune into our after show or get kidnapped by Lori.
Okay, well, Sarah Bishkin would rather be kidnapped by you.
Sarah Bishkin is just a huge fan of Finding Carter, and I think she wants to be in on the action. Sorry, Sarah, I don't want to have a kidnapping on my record.
I would love it. It'd be quite entertaining. Great.
I'm so pumped to be back in the studio recapping Finding Carter. How you feeling?
Dude, I was stoked for it to come back. It kind of snuck up. I kind of didn't realize it was coming back this soon, but I'm really stoked it came back.
Yeah. Well, and we had Zach Pullam, who plays Grant, in the studio a few weeks ago, and he kind of got us excited for season 2, but he couldn't really tell us that much.
No.
So now we're fully into season 2, part 2, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Like, all of a sudden, I feel like he didn't tell us anything. Because I
But
kept
at the
thinking,
same time, didn't you leave the interview being like, oh, yeah, Grant, I know him so much better?
Yeah, I did. And I was like, I feel like he told us so much. I really did. I don't know why I felt like he told us so much. I was not expecting, like, so much of Lori's presence, to be quite honest.
In this episode?
Yeah. And so put together.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Let's dive into that, because I got some beefs. Okay, so this episode starts off where the trial is done, and Lori's not guilty. I'm sorry. What?
Exactly. Okay, which this actually kind of bothered me that they didn't explain what led to her not being guilty, because I know they brought in the brother, but they didn't explain, like, what had happened, what the history with that was in order to give her freedom. You know what I mean? In order to make her case legit, because I don't know. To me, I was like, where did this brother come from? She probably paid this kid to act like her son.
I think from a writer's standpoint, because this is an MTV show, they didn't want to turn this into NCIS and make it 10 episodes of a courtroom.
Well,
they wanted to move past it and give us some plot.
Well, I can understand that, but I still wanted... That courtroom scene when we left was awesome. It was awesome. And I wanted to go back to that. I wanted more Kat Prescott,
Carter.
Prescott.
Kat Prescott. Mm-hmm.
I wanted more tears from her. She's a great crier.
Yeah.
She's a great crier.
Yeah, well, and I don't think it'll be the last time there's legal issues. Because Lori moved into Carter's neighborhood with her son, Ben, who she hadn't ever raised. He was put in foster care the whole time. So it's very strange that she's thrown into this new life and adjusting so well, considering just a few months ago she was in, like, solitary confinement because she was suicidal and, like, manic.
Well, and I don't understand that either. I had a lot of issues, you guys, today. A lot of them.
Hannah's got issues, guys.
I do. I do. On the show and other, we don't need to talk about. No, I'm just kidding.
It's fine. But we're going to get through it.
We're going to get through it. But I didn't understand, because when David comes to talk to her about Ben and why she didn't raise Ben, she says that he was taken away because she was mentally ill. But yet she just got out of an insane asylum, and now she's being given custody over this boy again when she is clearly not mentally stable. Like, isn't that clear? Like, that was clear.
I think this could be one of those situations where Carter starts asking questions and getting nosy and starts digging into things like that where she doesn't belong. Because when Lori first got arrested, she kept hanging around the police station, tricking police officers to let her, talk to Lori.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I could see this definitely going in that direction.
Which it should, because I don't buy everything that's happening. I think there's things that they're not saying, and I think Lori's still being manipulative. As much as she was
100%.
sweet in this episode, she was, and like a little bit more likable and very put together, and it was nice to see that side of Lori again. Like, she was like that in the beginning, though, and was hiding all of these crazy things.
Right.
So I think that's, like, completely under the surface.
Wouldn't you say... I mean, I completely agree. Lori's always been a manipulative character, and I think that is showing now with David, because she has him wrapped around her finger with Ben, this new character, supposedly her son. We haven't had paternity tests, right?
No.
No.
Do those not exist on this show?
No.
Because we haven't done it for anybody.
No.
And that's insane to me. But Ben also has everybody wrapped around his finger also.
Yes. Yeah, I got things to say about Ben.
I know.
We're going to wait a second for that one. I want to rant about Lori a little bit more.
Okay, great.
So Lori says, first of all, she moves to Carter's neighborhood, shows up at the school. Why isn't there a restraining order on this woman from the school and from Carter? And then David drives to her house, and she explains that she couldn't raise Ben because when she gave birth to him, she was considered mentally ill. Is there ever... I am not well read in mental illness and the legal system, but did they ever, lift that label from you?
I don't think so. To be like, oh, sorry, we made a mistake, you're mentally stable. I don't think that happens. She was crazy.
I mean, I feel like in a sense it would have to be, because think about it. If you're put in a psychiatric ward, eventually you'll get left out. Some people might be kept forever, but you would think if you're let out of that means that they consider you stable, right?
Right. And I feel like if they let you out, especially in the situation where it's a case and you're on trial for something and you're getting potentially a lesser charge because you may be mentally unstable, but then they decide you're mentally stable, then wouldn't they find you guilty on larger accounts? You know what I mean? That's what... Yeah. But she got let go of everything. I'm very confused by that. And then not only did she let go on everything, but a nice... house in a suburb was waiting for her, the minute she got out.
Yeah. Is that a house? I thought it was an apartment.
Whatever it is. She moved in and was set up right away.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen.
Very true.
Was there supposed to be, a time passing? A slight time passing between the trial and...
A little bit. Maybe a week?
Okay.
I don't know.
Even give me a week and I'm fine with it.
I'm assuming it's Monday morning after the trial.
That's kind of what I thought too.
But we don't know. There was no time given. I did there was a little bit where Carter was talking to Ben at school, and he makes a comment about being new to the school, and Carter's like, I mean, I'm pretty much new too. I haven't really ever been here.
I actually loved that also. I was like, thank you.
Well, and it's about time that the characters in the show acknowledge that they do not pay attention to the laws of child education.
Nope. None of them are ever in school.
No.
Especially Carter. I'm like, she has to be truant by now, right?
Yeah, totally truant.
Totally truant.
That's a spin-off. It's going to be a web series with just Carter called Totally Truant.
I would
Carter and the principal in the principal's office.
That would be brilliant. That would be so brilliant.
So we find out that Lori is writing a book. I don't know if I would read it.
Where did that come from?
I mean, I don't know. I could just assume, but I'm just making a lot of leaps and assumptions with this episode. So I'm assuming that whenever something is very controversial in the public eye, someone reaches out to someone and promises you things, not necessarily interesting enough for us to see it on camera, but credible enough for us to believe that it's really happening to these characters.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Because I thought that too. I was like, okay, but in a situation like this, yes, they are under... Which I'm actually surprised that Carter's not walking around with more, paparazzi around her right now.
Yeah.
Because, I feel like this is something that would be blowing up in the tabloids.
Well,
right?
And you know what I thought would have been interesting is if we saw David's manager confronting Lori about writing a book.
Yeah,
How
I would like
controversial
that.
would that be?
They need to do that.
I know.
But the sad thing is I did think, I was like, I would read this book, though, if Lori wrote it.
Probably.
Totally.
Probably.
By mentally unstable, well, we think.
Yeah.
Or unstable, whatever it is. A mentally struggling human being. That's me. Wait, that doesn't anymore.
Mentally Unstable, a memoir from Lori Stevens.
I would
Mentally
love
Unstable, Laura Stevens' memoir.
I would love that.
So, David visits Lori, because that's smart.
Yeah, with a lot of dough.
Well, later on he does. But
Oh,
at
yeah,
first he
at
just
first he
chats with
didn't.
her about wanting to get to know Ben and
Which is
why didn't you tell me?
understandable.
Totally makes sense. But then Elizabeth is smart and is like, hey, don't let this woman write a book about our daughter. And he's like, oh, my hands are tied here. I suddenly have a child with this woman. I can't stand up to her. I'm sorry, David. Can you please grow some cojones?
Yeah, seriously, because we still need a paternity test.
Yeah. Also, David, can you please hold still? I just want to swab the inside of your mouth.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
all
I'm so
right.
confused. And why?
DNA test.
And why is Elizabeth not more pressing on David for this child that he apparently had prior or alongside as the others? I'm like really confused by if he is older. Is Ben older?
I think he would be a little bit younger because wasn't he admitting to having an affair with Lori when the twins were already
Right.
born?
But David asks her, if you already had Ben, why didn't you keep him? Why'd you take Carter instead?
Oh, right. And then she explained.
Then, right? So then he would have had to be taken away beforehand, right? So I do
brain
not
is
understand because I
short-circuiting.
feel like at some point in time he would have had to see her pregnant with a baby.
Yeah. Unless after she got pregnant, it was no more. Because he claimed it was a one-night stand, right? And she
then-
claimed it was an affair.
And then it was after that she then decided to be their like surrogate or donor or whatever. Donor.
Well, no, she was... The twins are... If what I'm thinking is right, the twins are older than...
Really? Where is Zach when we need him to explain the biology?
Zachary Pullam, help us.
I feel like he
anyhow.
tried to when he was here last time because we just don't know what we're talking about.
I have a feeling we'll get more details on Ben's story. He's a shady character. But
I need a
last thing,
flowchart of their like family tree.
yeah, if anybody has seen like a flowchart or timeline of finding Carter on the internet, can you please comment below on this video and help us out? I feel like you guys are better at figuring out the time on this show than we are.
Oh yeah.
Because we sit here, we try and dissect it, and then you all in the chat roll are like, actually, at 2 p.m. on this day, Carter went here. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah, we just end up running around in circles. Like, you know what I mean?
Help
We try to
us.
figure it out, and then we get too confused trying to figure it out that we've created like a whole other timeline that doesn't exist.
This is true. Well, anyway, my last rant about the David, Lori, Elizabeth thing is, yes, I'm totally surprised that Elizabeth is so supportive of David getting to know his son that she just found out, they both found out existed like a week ago.
After they just got back together.
I would probably leave him if I were her.
Well, that's what confuses me because they just got back together. Like they just.
It's a new day.
There was a lot of forgiveness that happened.
Yeah.
And now this, I'm like, wait, why are we not going to revisit that? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I want them to stay together. I'm not saying that I don't want them to. I just don't understand why this is not being talked about.
Well, and now David gave Lori $10,000 for her and Ben. It wasn't like, here, this is for Ben.
Right.
It was like, give some to Ben.
Yeah,
But
please
now
take
he's
care of
playing sugar daddy, and Elizabeth caught him crying in the car. So I think they're definitely going to be on the rocks.
Oh, gosh. Just like figure it out, everybody.
Yeah. Get your shit together.
That's all I want.
Stevens family. Or whatever. Everyone's last name is so confusing to me.
I don't know. I'm forgetting. I don't think it's
I want to complain about Ben. I hate him. I hate the
You
character
really hate
already.
him?
Yeah, he seems like a little brat. He seems like he's purposely doing bad things to get Carter wrapped up in it so she'll get in trouble and not him.
I don't even think that. I don't think he's like, I don't really feel like he's, I don't know. I don't think he's manipulating Carter. I just don't really care for him. You know what I mean? I just don't think he seems very likable, even just personality wise.
He's playing that lone wolf thing.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. He's a little hostile when she tries to befriend him at school, which I get. He's probably really overwhelmed with the new situation. He just found out he has a sister. That's wild. But then she gives him a ride home,
Yeah.
and he robs a house, drags her into it, and then Carter just is kind of cool about it after he explains, oh, I had a rough upbringing, therefore you had to steal thousands of dollars, and she's cool with it?
Right, and
I don't like that.
Which I'm getting so into like logistics, and it shouldn't really matter because
It should matter. This is a TV show.
But like, I also don't understand even the way that his money was wrapped, because it looked like he stole from like a bank. It looked like he robbed a bank, not that he was like stealing from a multiple amount of people.
Yeah, it was like a shed in someone's backyard. So maybe, I mean, this guy that he stole from, it couldn't have been just a stranger. It makes me wonder if that guy that he stole from might be wrapped up in some sort of drug deal, and he knew that there was supposed to be a money drop at that location, and Ben grabbed the money before the person who's supposed to get it.
Very interesting.
Because Ben seems like the kind of shady who would be in that sort of
I agree with that. I actually thought it was one of his previous foster parents.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
And then maybe his previous foster parent was involved in like drug stuff.
Yeah. Oh, sad.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a foster parent, please don't be a drug dealer.
Right. Like I'm sure that he had like a very sad, rough time, life, whatever, etc., and is doing whatever. But he just like, I don't know. I wanted to like him more, but instead, in moments of like Crash yelling at him, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I'm on to you, Ben. You seem like a shady
he's attractive. Character. I don't like him trying. Yeah.
You
don't think so?
People, tell us in the comments below. Is Ben a hottie? What are the kids saying these days?
They're saying he is. But I don't like and I don't like him with Bird, even though that just seems like a likely pair, doesn't it?
I think it's so typical Bird to flirt with the new thing that walks into the group.
Oh, yeah. The minute. And when she even finds out that's the brother, she, like, doesn't back down. She keeps going for it. I'm like, that would make me be like, ugh.
If I were Carter, I'd be like, hey, step off of my family for, like, 2 seconds.
For real, dude.
Well, anywho, they become, like, a little threesome.
Yeah.
They start partying together. They make fake IDs, which I think we've all been there. I think we've had a fake ID, right?
I don't really care that they did that. I was like, whatever.
But what I do care about is how dumb it is that Carter talks to Crash, who all of these people come into Carter's life trying to help her, and then she keeps playing, woe is me, leave me alone, I'm an independent girl. But then she uses her independence to hurt herself. Why would she get a fake ID and apply for a job with a fake ID?
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, did I miss the time, like the conversation where she outed herself and told him that she used a fake ID? Or is she going to fill out this and either lie or put in the application truthfully and then him be mad at her for lying and him serving her alcohol underage?
Right. And she could get caught and arrested if they figure out that I'm sure the ID number is fake. And when the government tries to issue you a pay stub, they'll be like, this is not a person.
Right. I'm like thinking that she's going to truthfully fill it out. And that dude man bartender is
with what social security number?
With her real one.
Yeah, and then they'll find out how old she is.
Right. I think she's going to put her real stuff down. And then dude man is just going to kind of like let it slide, give her crap for it, slap her on the wrist. Because like, don't we already know he's sticking around?
Yeah, they're totally going to have a thing.
Yeah.
And it's going to be scandalous.
Okay, what's his name in real life? I actually like that dude.
Bartender? Oh, the actor's name? I do not know, but his character's name is Jared.
Okay, which I really enjoy that actor. I've liked him in everything he's done.
What else have you seen him in?
Well, he did Twilight, and then he used to do that show. I want to say that it was called Beautiful People.
Yeah. Was that on ABC or NBC?
Yeah, it was forever ago. It only had like 1 or 2 seasons, but I really liked him on it. If that's the name of the show, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And there have been a couple other things, but I can't remember what. He's done, like, small parts on stuff. And I've liked him in everything, but, like, was it just me or was he putting on a voice, like, as this bartender? Like, this, like, And I was like, why are you doing that, buddy? Why are you doing that, buddy?
Character.
You already have a deep voice anyways. I was like, just let it ride. I don't know. It slightly bothered me. I was like, come on, man. I like you. Stop it.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to see... This is not going to be the last of him.
Oh, no.
The bar is setting the stage for a new plot twist.
But, like, and also, maybe I'm just already hating and trying to find reasons not to like him in this because, like, how dare you come and step on Crash's toes? But seriously.
We got Team Crash over here.
Can I just side note real quick?
Sure.
Because the other day I was eating at a little cafe in Studio City with my family. And, guess who walks in?
Crash?
Crash.
Oh my God, you saw him in public? Caleb Reminer?
Oh my God, I lost
Did you go, Caleb, or did you say Crash?
No, I started doing this. Oh my God. You guys. That's
Did
what
you
I
talk to him?
No, I was terrified.
Oh, Hannah!
I was terrified, dude. I was so
You
scared.
should have talked to him, because I've interviewed him, and if you said, I'm from AfterBuzz, he'd be like, oh yeah, I remember the other girls.
I know, but what was
How
I going
are
to
you?
do? Get up from the table and just like go up
Yes.
and be like, hey.
Yeah.
No, I had a near panic attack about it. I have a way too big of a crush on you, Caleb.
Oh my God. You need to tweet at him and tell him that.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
What? Okay.
tweet at him
Everybody
for me.
needs to tweet. You too. Everybody needs to tweet at Caleb and be like, Hannah saw you in real life and she was too scared to talk to you. We know you're in the LA area. Would you please come to AfterBuzz TV so she can meet him?
Please.
Hashtag Hannah meets Crash.
Oh, stop.
This is like a Make-A-Wish coming true.
And as I had a panic attack, I texted Hale right when I saw him, and she was like, go talk to him. Tell him to come on the show. And I was like, no. She was
Yeah.
like, be professional. I was like, no.
Look, I saw
Oh,
Alex
good.
Saxon in public, and I cornered him, and I told him he had to come to AfterBuzz, and I've been emailing his manager for like a year now trying to get him in.
That's beautiful.
But it's taking forever. Alex, where are you?
This is our plea to everybody.
We need you, Alex, and Crash.
Come on the show.
I'm starting to like Crash more and more. Now that he's cleaned up.
you.
Now that he's cleaned up, he's got a little haircut. You know, he's got a level head.
Sorry, I had to cough.
Ooh, she's spreading germs in this new studio.
I'm sorry. Whoever has to use this mic after me.
Yeah, I'm totally down with Crash now. But that's just because he's not trying to ruin other people's lives.
No.
He's not shooting anybody.
But now he's going to push her away because he's going to become, like, overbearing and the good guy. And for whatever reason, Carter just wants these, like... she wants people who cause drama in her life and, like, this excitement. Whatever. I get it. I don't get it.
Well, speaking of drama, I want to move on to the Gabe situation. Gabe, Taylor, Damon, Max. So, poor Kyle, R.I.P. He's dead.
I know it.
Gabe is not dealing well. He's drinking, buying Apple Watches with his insurance money.
I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, it is. Here, I'll buy another one. I was like, what?
But that scene where Gabe was sitting on his bed in just a wife beater, whew, those arms.
Dude, he really is a looker. Like
He
a
is.
fox.
Yes. He looked great. And his
Whatever.
his hair was pushed back. He looked sexy with his hair pushed back.
It's just, like, straight up a really attractive cast.
Yeah, he's a good looking guy. We had him in studio. I miss him.
How did I miss all these people? It's fine. Bring them back.
Come back. Come visit. So I'm starting to get vibes again from Gabe that we were getting in season 1.
I know.
With Taylor and Gabe being a thing.
I know.
Well, I guess in season 1 it kind of seemed like Taylor liked Gabe and Gabe didn't pay attention to her.
Right.
But now the tables have turned. Taylor's a hot commodity and Gabe is all about Taylor.
I felt like Taylor was having vibes with, like, everybody.
Yeah, she was giving those eyes, those
Yeah.
big doll eyes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have the same kind of eyes as Taylor, like those
Stop
big
it.
old blue.
Stop it. Stop
You're
it.
giving me the Taylor eyes, Hannah.
Kelly, you know it.
But Taylor is playing hard to get. I like that she's friendly and cordial with Max. I
Right.
think they're cute together, but I like that they're doing better.
I guess I kind of forget where they ended up.
Well, she
with
was very,
things.
because they revealed that Carter and Max slept together to her.
Right.
And she was like super hurt, obviously.
Right.
And said she was going to take a while to
But I
forgive.
thought they started making out again.
They did.
They did. Okay, so they're on making out.
We haven't really heard if they're exclusive. I guess it's sort of been up in the air there. Like, are they together?
I imagine they're just making out.
Yeah, they're just warming up.
Right? Wouldn't you think that's what they're doing?
Yeah.
And then Max is going to end up getting hurt because...
Because Gabe's going to swoop in. Listen, Gabe's got a dead dad. He's going to get the sympathy card from Taylor.
No, he's not. Because I think that Taylor's going to like... Damon? Damon? That's his
Yeah,
name?
Damon.
I
Ugh.
think she likes him.
You think?
I do.
Interesting, because
think that's
she
gonna be a
was
thing.
competing with him to be Gabe's number one friend.
I know. They're creating that sexual tension.
All right. I was expecting this to turn into like a frenemy situation.
Oh, no. I think it's going to be love.
Wow. Wow.
That's what I'm thinking.
All
that's gonna
right.
happen.
I can see
Yeah,
that.
because like Bird's gonna just be all over Ben or whatever his name is, and so Damon's
Interesting.
gonna have to move on. He's focusing all this attention on Taylor with like competing with her, and likewise with Taylor, that I think they're gonna end up doing the damn thing. And Gabe's gonna be jealous because he wants to be with Taylor, and then he's gonna spiral a little bit more. And Max is gonna be jealous, but he's gonna find a way to be a friend to her.
Yeah, Max is a good guy, so I don't think
Yeah.
he would ever turn his back on anybody.
Right?
Bless
What's
his
next
heart.
for Max? Let's get Max a new girlfriend. Cast me.
Card? I thought you wanted Crash.
I want them all. They're all attractive.
Real quick, there's the Taylor and Damon battle to be Gabe's number one or whatever. I didn't really get that. I didn't care for it. I didn't like that it just turned into Damon not being able to handle his booze and then passing out. I also don't really understand Damon's character anyway. He just sort of like showed up.
He did, and I think now they're trying to give him a reason for being there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like they gave him like a small little, I don't know, arena on the show, and now they have to like solidify it.
I did like Taylor a lot in this episode, though.
I did too.
She's likable again.
Yeah,
now that she doesn't have a
is.
drug problem.
For real. She really is. And that character, I don't know if it's the actor in general or Taylor as a character, but
Anna.
she seems so much more like confident on the show now. Just in general, that character seems so much more confident.
Well, think about it. Anna's character from season 1, who was the child that nobody paid attention to, spun out of control in season 2, and now she's making a comeback. And she has to be a more likable character because she's gone through experiences that people can relate to.
Exactly. And even like
Sort of.
right. But she's like humbled herself in some way and like or whatnot. But and even her conversation with Ben, I was like, that's going to be the sister he creates a relationship with, like an actual relationship with. Carter's going to be the one that he like gets in trouble with and ends up having this like dysfunctional forced brother sister friendship relationship thing.
Yep. I totally agree with that. Gabe and Taylor had a chat. Gabe apologized, which I found very bold. I feel like most teenagers who are spiraling out of control don't admit it and don't ask for help. So kudos, Gabe. Yeah,
good job, man. You're one step in the right direction.
Keep pumping that iron, too. I like your arms, Gabe. And we find out, well, they mention Ophi's in rehab. I miss Ophi.
Yeah, I like somehow totally missed that
Bring
conversation.
him back.
I must have like been stuffing myself with popcorn at the time and like, I don't know, my chewing was too loud.
Yeah, well, gotta pay attention with Finding Carter.
But yeah, I miss Ophi. Bring him back.
Well, we recapped the whole episode. We did a lot of predicting while recapping.
I know.
Let's jump into predictions.
Okay.
But
it always starts like I know, and they're all the same color. Like they're kind of cool.
It's gonna give me a seizure.
Don't you think the beginning of the predictions thing kind of sounds like crickets when it starts?
James
like,
trying
crickets.
to give me. James the engineer is trying to give me a seizure with that lighting. Woof. It's not your fault though.
Woof.
Thank you, James. All right. You can give specific predictions, but also like overall, how do you feel about tonight's episode?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah, it set the pace for the rest of the season.
All right, here's the thing. Like, and this is kind of a blanket statement for all like first episodes of seasons that I've seen recently. It kind of fell short to me. I honestly was a little disappointed and I wanted a little bit more from it, and I felt like it was almost like a filler episode trying to like catch us up and not catch us up. It still left so many unanswered questions, and that bothered me. And I'm like, well, maybe it's just setting up for the rest of the season to be filled with answering all these questions, which Finding Carter generally does. So, I haven't lost hope completely, but I was excited to see everybody back. I was excited to see Crash. I was excited to see Carter. I can't help but smile when I say Crash. But no, I'm still stoked, and I'm stoked to see what they do with Lori and everything. I love the show no matter what, but for some reason I wanted a little bit more from this episode.
Yeah. I agree with you. Here's how I felt about it. MTV has the power to take really real characters, really relatable people, and put them in surreal situations. And that's what makes MTV shows so addicting. And I feel like they had the power to make this episode really, really dramatic. And it kind of fell flat for me too.
Agreed.
So I'm hoping that this is just a slow build.
Yes.
And there's going to be an explosion in the middle of the season.
I think there will. There has to be. And especially, like, I don't know. They've set this up to be kind of a more normal situation and not as crazy. So I feel like once you get more of the normalcy, it's actually going to be bigger, like, I don't know, balls dropped on
Yeah.
us, right?
Yeah. I think they just wanted to kind of put out the feelers, see how we adjust with Ben and a completely new living situation with Lori right down the street.
Yeah.
And then from there, they can take it anywhere, really.
Yeah. I'm sensing more normalcy in this season.
Yeah.
Like with, Carter and this new guy, I feel like that's going to be a new relationship thing they're going to focus on. I know Zach had told us he's got some lady friend coming back into the action, you know what I mean? So
Reagan.
yeah.
Regan?
Reagan, whatever it
I
is.
screw it up every time.
Yeah, so
Gregan.
What? Gregan, that's all. I don't know. But I don't know, so I almost feel like those are going to be some focusing points and less on the trial this time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well, what a season opener. We're back. I'm so happy that we're back to recap it. And Yell will be back in a week or two. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I know you all love her.
I know, we miss her too.
She'll be back soon. And I am so excited to be back with Finding Carter. Hannah, can you tell everybody where they follow you on Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff?
Y'all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Hotshot Dude.
And you can follow me on Twitter at the Kylie Hodges and Instagram just at Kylie Hodges. And if you guys follow my live tweets during the episodes, you will know I have so many feelings and a lot of emojis involved. So follow along. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. See you next week. Adios.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.